My guru is Jinnuru Sadguru Nannagaru, a realized spiritual master. He is not in the body now. Sadguru Nannagaru is a disciple of Sadguru Ramana Maharshi. Sadguru Nannagaru guided and mentored lakhs of his devotees spread across globally on the Gnana Marga in the spiritual journey of one's life. He traveled various parts of India and abroad and delivered thousands of spiritual discourses which are inspiration to all his devotees even today. Nannagaru's love for his devotees is indescribable. No amount of words can describe his love for his devotees. I am trying to convey his messages in the form of short episodes to the best of my knowledge and ability. This episode is number 2. Why should I realize the truth? Mind is just a bundle of thoughts. When skin of the onion is peeled off, there is no such thing as onion. Similarly, if all thoughts are removed, there is no such thing as mind. Science proves that individual's mind produces around 1 million thoughts every single day. Birth is a thought, death is a thought, pleasure, pain, success, failure, sorrow, suffering, defeat, disease, anger, jealousy, hatred, joy, happiness, peace, emotion, and so on and so forth are all thoughts. Except the absolute truth, everything is created by the mind. Let us understand what exactly is happening inside our minds in 3 simple steps. Step number 1, how thoughts arise in the morning automatically. Step number 2, how do thoughts dissolve at night automatically? Step number 3, what is ego? How do we remove it during waking state? Let us see step number 1, how thoughts arise in the morning automatically. After we get up from the deep sleep, the first thought that springs up from the spiritual heart is called as I thought. The spiritual heart is situated at right side of the body near the chest. This has been confirmed by the Sadguru Ramana Maharshi. This spiritual heart has no form. This spiritual heart is the abode for the absolute truth. The I thought then quickly moves to the head and clutches the form and name of the gross body. The character of a thought is that it cannot live independently. It requires the support of gross body's name and form. I thought plus identification with the gross body is called as ego. Now, all other thoughts cling on to this ego thought. Step number 2, how do thoughts dissolve at night automatically? Just before deep sleep, ego thought detaches the identification with the gross body. Since the form and name of the gross body is detached, all other thoughts that are clinging on to the I thought just fall off like pack of cards. Now, I thought quickly travels back to the source. Till the time this I thought arises again in the morning, the person is said to be in deep sleep. Step number 3. What is ego? How do we remove it during waking state? We already know that I thought plus identification with the gross body form a name is called ego. All other thoughts get attached to this ego thought. Ego thought and all other thoughts are active during waking state and also during dream state. In the waking state, if the identification with the gross body is removed, then all other thoughts fall off from I thought, and I thought travels back to the source and merges with the absolute truth. This is like how bubble in the ocean bursts and becomes ocean. Freeing from ego in the waking state is the crux for realizing the absolute truth. Sadhana that one undertakes is only to qualify for the grace of the absolute truth. Grace alone shall make us free from ego. The last topic in this episode is why should I realize the truth? If I am different from the absolute truth, then I have an option to become realized or not. This scenario is not that. We 8.1 billion people in this world are already realized, but we are not experiencing that truth because of ego that is standing between material body and absolute truth. Once the ego is removed, here and now one can experience the absolute bliss, absolute happiness, and absolute peace as clearly as one can see an object in one's own palm. How do we remove the ego? Watch out for the next episode. Sadguru Nannagaru.